Bust out your assless chaps, we're heading back to the wickedy wild wild west with some cowboys and anime girls, and also robots, because fuck historical accuracy. This is Wild Guns. Annie's got a gun and is out for revenge alongside Clint the Bounty Hunter in this third-person shoot-'em-up. Coming out back in 1994, it draws heavy inspiration from the manga series Cobra, but with a western paint job. Developed by Natsumi, they were fresh off the team's last project, the Ninja Warriors, another badass-looking game I'm embarrassed to admit I was unfamiliar with until only recently. This game is pure arcade, essentially a spiritual successor to Blood Brothers. There is no story depth or branching paths, just 6 levels of mindless action. And that's a good thing. Not every game needs to be a 40-hour epic RPG. Sometimes 30 minutes is more than enough. In fact, some might say that's too much. Nobody wants to be sore the morning after. This run, we will be playing as Annie, because I am a pretty princess, and also she's the main character. However, this game was recently ported to Switch, and by recently I mean nearly a decade ago. But that version has new characters, like Bullet the dog and Doris the linebacker. Starting off in Carson City, the first level is a bit slower paced to give you time to learn the controls. Moving and aiming with the same stick may be awkward at first, especially with the light bullet hell mechanics, but once you get used to the flow of the game, you'll find it's actually not that aggressive, almost relaxing in a way. Rolling is your best friend, insert shitty Dark Souls with guns joke here. You also have a double jump to help keep you out of trouble. Into the saloon for a bar fight, and it's ladies' night. Free drinks are on me, cause if you're gonna play with firearms, you'd better be completely loaded. Don't get distracted by the guys rolling around on the floor like idiots. They're slow to aim, and the real target are the larger guys hanging out behind the bar. Make sure to focus them to get all those bonus drops. You see that pea shooter I just nabbed? Well, it just made my weapon completely useless until I fire off the next 50 rounds, and we're in the middle of a mini-boss fight. Worry not, he's a bit of a southern dandy, and with a little bit of persuasion and a shotgun, he'll go down without any resistance. 100% certain we'll never see that last guy ever again. We head outside for a showdown, with a gigantic Gundam holding a chain gun. I do not recall learning about this in school. Just stay outside of his range, and roll when he sends missiles. You'll take him out with very little problem. Into the main section, we got this lovely Mega Man style select screen. However, it is only 4 stages, and it doesn't really matter what order you go in as far as I know. So we are just gonna plow through, easy to hard, starting with Desolation Canyon. Into the sandy dunes we go, and between the dino bones and the guys popping out of bushes, you've got to admit this game has got style going for it. These 5G towers are a bit of a nuisance, able to lock you in place, leaving you vulnerable, but with a little butt wiggle, you can break free and go back on the offensive. You'll see me dodging dynamite a lot early on, which is an embarrassing rookie mistake I didn't realize until much later, but you can in fact pick it up and throw it back, doing some pretty decent area damage. Making a guest appearance, it's Q from Street Fighter 3, another easy mini-boss, and you again should focus on staying to his sides to avoid the main attacks. Into the caves, and this is honestly one of the sections I had the most problems with. Maybe I didn't have the patterns down right, but I had to focus on dodging way more than shooting. And while it was still easy to survive, that arcade high score is looking pretty pathetic right now. We've got a tank boss, and it's probably one of the easiest matchups. While I am dodging out of habit, half the time he'll aim high and miss you completely anyway. No real strategy needed, just keep moving and attacking. Stage 2, the ammunition depot. Ignore the guys hanging out front in the parking lot and focus on the Gatling gun. The quicker you take it out, the easier this section will be. If you happen to have any bombs on you, now is the perfect time to use them in order to clear the screen. Even easier is the second Caballero K fight. Just use the same strats as last time and send him back to the reject bin. Back inside, This section can be incredibly easy if you focus the tanks while staying ahead of their movement path, only taking quick shots at the guys with shields when they drop them to take aim. Another boss fight, and I haven't got a clue what this robotic jellyfish Metroid thing is actually supposed to be, but it looks kind of amazing, so 10 out of 10. It takes a moment to get the timing down, but you're essentially doing a waltz, targeting the boss, to targeting the ads, to dodging, then repeating. The children yearn for the mines, so that's where we're going for the next mission, and I kinda hate this part. You have these larger ships you're supposed to take down, that act as bullet sponges while tiny ads take pot shots at you, and I can't see them for shit because my eyes are old and broken. Thankfully, the next mini-boss is another repeat who's easy to handle, even if he is a bit more aggressive when attacking down the center this time around. This part can get a bit frantic with the bullet hell nonsense, but if you keep moving and we actually start throwing back some of that dynamite, it's not too horrible. I've got crabs, and they're big and angry. Also, it's another boss fight. Crustacean Gundam is probably the easiest boss of the entire game, but I like his design, so he gets a pass. At worst, he may lock you in place for a moment, but if you button mash, you'll be free in time to dodge any attack he tries to use as a follow-up. Turtling up for half the fight, you will spend a lot of time waiting for a clear shot, so don't waste the opening. Bonus stage, a time for luck and fortune, and if you'd like to spread some fortune, take aim at that like and subscribe button. Or don't. There ain't no laws out here. That's why we went west in the first place. Freedom.
Red, white, and blue pancakes, huh? What do they taste like? America.
On to the final mission, Armored Train, which is usually the one I hit first because I'm a dummy who needs to be weird. The first section is simple, albeit a bit monotonous, slowly working your way up the train, taking out static objects, while essentially going pure shooting gallery. The engine can be a little tough, but again, the enemy can't exactly dodge your shots, so it gets boring having so little resistance. I was even able to ignore getting trapped because it had no way to damage me near the end. Bust out the robot horses. Also, this mini-boss sucks. The prick flies around the screen letting all of his minions get shot up while trying to sneak in back attacks. So, fuck this guy. Did I say mini-boss? 'Cause my bad. That loser is supposed to be the big bad of this one screen level. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a letdown, especially for the big final mission of the set. Come and rescue me from this misery, cowgirl gun nut waifu. No time. We're jumping into the real final level, and they've run out of enemy sprites, so they're just sending out the mini-bosses 2 at a time. Just use the same strategy you used previously, except 2 times gooder. Inside you'll get jumped by a bunch of queues, and also some chain gun chandeliers. Stick and move, you'll be fine, we're almost there. Also, that prick from the opening shows up again, so shoot him in the face since he clearly does not know how to listen. More dumb bullshit, but we are so close to the final boss we push through regardless. You see that big red thing? Just shoot the big red thing, and we can move on. Final boss, and this guy is a complete pushover. However, he has a huge health pool, so play the long game, focusing on dodging while taking out his helpers. You will wear him down over time. You can play it loose with defense. I'm not saying you should get sloppy, but anyone who can make it this far probably has plenty of extra lives they can drop at this point. That is to say, I don't really mind taking a hit or two this late in the game. The day is won, and the orphans are safe, or we avenged our family. I can't really remember. This is a 90s game, so I had to get the plot from the wiki. Either way, congratulations, you did it. Great job. Thumbs up. That was Wild Guns, and I actually had a pretty great time. I only sound annoyed because it's 2 a.m. when I record these things. Regardless of my terrible sleeping habits, it is definitely worth looking at if you've never gotten the chance. And even if you have played it, it's an arcade score attack game, so play it again. Trying to keep up that same energy, and I've already got footage for several other games, including Kirby Superstars and Super Animal Royale. However, that animation push is coming, and really needs to take its place as the central focus. As always, thank you to everyone who watched, and a special thank you to the people who got this week's theme adopts, and I will catch you in the next one.